Hello YouTube. It is Monday, August 31st, and I thought today maybe we play a little bit of Phantasy Star Online. It's been a little bit, it's been about a week, but I've taken much bigger breaks in the past, as you probably already know. So yeah, we're gonna hop on, see who is playing tonight, and see if we can get a game started. I got a couple of things here that I was gonna kind of show off throughout the stream, mostly pickups. Surprisingly, I've actually been having pretty good luck. One lot in particular, which I don't have in front of me, but basically, for me anyways, it was a really good score. Some people might kind of pass it by and be like, what are you going to do with that stuff? But anyways, Facebook Marketplace, I noticed that somebody was giving away a box of a 40-pound box rather of CDs. Who collects CDs? Well, I still collect CDs. But he labeled them all like industrial, metal, punk, Euro, a whole bunch of stuff that I'm kind of into. Picked it up. It was actually a really good lot. Now, some of the CDs weren't in the best shape, but overall it was fairly decent. I've been ripping a ton, putting on my computer. Some of the stuff that maybe I'm not interested in or was in too rough a shape, I've actually just gotten rid of, donated a lot of that stuff. But overall, there's probably about maybe 200 discs that I'm probably going to keep of that 40-pound box. It was a pretty good score. But there's one thing in here that I think people kind of find interesting, and this is a pickup I got a little while ago, maybe about 4 months, I guess now, and I was pretty excited about it when I found it. So basically what it is an old IBM Thinkpad. You might think, well, you see those things all the time kicking around, but this one was really cool. This was I could tell right away just by kind of looking at what it had to offer that this is going to be something that I could probably find useful in my setup. And what it is it's an old IBM Thinkpad 380 XD laptop. Aha! Okay, so what makes this laptop kind of cool? What makes it different from some of the other ThinkPads that you might be able to get? Well, in terms of computing power, it's not the strongest laptop in the world, but it does have something really cool for playing retro games. So this is a Windows 95 laptop. Now I have Windows 98 installed on it, but it also comes with a dual boot drive for floppy and CD. So all of those old games that I need to play in DOS, this is perfect for it. It can handle a lot of, like, especially the Sierra games and things like that. The ghosting on the screen, because of the nature of the laptops back in the day, it's going to be there. But overall, this is a really, really good laptop. So I'll fire it up just to show you it works. I did do a few upgradings, or few upgrades rather, to it. One was a custom upgrade, and the other I just had to purchase. So this has a maximum memory of 96 megabytes, but also it has the CMOS battery problem. They hardwired it into the computer, so I had to make my own sort of battery case for it, customize it, and put in my own CMOS battery. So now that I've done that, it works absolutely perfect. And so we'll just fire it up here. There's a little switch and show you the load time. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been playing a lot of like my old sort of PC games that require floppy, and then I need to go to DOS rather than emulating them. Just kind of play them natively on this guy right here. So pretty cool. Anyways, we could talk about that as we go. Right now, I am going to fire up my Dreamcast and see who we can find online. So let's go to the main gaming screen here. Hit power. You guys can watch my Windows 98 machine fire up in the background. And we'll see what we can find tonight. So hopefully my Dreamcast is cooperating with me. Unfortunately, these things can be kind of hit or miss, but we'll see what happens. So online games, Phantasy Star Online version 2. So let's go and X swap with the patcher, and here we are. So some of you know I use a USB-GDROM. I know that the mode is out, and maybe I'll talk about that in a little bit, but so far this is working pretty well. It's kind of funny that about a year and a little bit ago, there was a video that I made, stream rather, And about a year after I posted it with the problems I was having with the USB-GDROM, all of a sudden it went kind of viral in the Dreamcast community. What it was it was showing that the USB-GDROM actually had a data bomb in it where the firmware made you do a mandatory update. So the video in question, I can't remember the date, but what would happen was you loaded up your Dreamcast and it just said your firmware is out of date. So you couldn't get into anything. So you had to go back to, I believe the guy's name is Nemo, his website, and then you had to download the latest firmware, which is really kind of, that could be really bad for many reasons. In particular, like what if he decides one day he's not going to update his firmware anymore or continue with this USB-GDROM project, which is probably going to happen sooner than later because of some of the things that have come out recently. But apparently in the last couple of firmware updates that he had, he didn't put that data bomb in it. He said they put it in so people can clone it, like the SD, what is it called there? The not the USB-GDROM, clearly that's what I have. Whatever, the GDI, I think it's called. I can't remember exactly, but the one that uses SD cards. So apparently, since that's been cloned, he's been really kind of trying to tighten up his product. Now his product has kind of become a little bit antiquated, mostly due to the mode and the abundance of these clones that you can get now. That being said, it still works perfectly. I haven't had any problems with it, but I am debating swapping it out for a couple of reasons. So let's just hit enter on our little laptop. Forgot to mention, had the original IBM serial mouse as well, or PS2 port mouse, I should say, not serial. And here, let's just leave this guy going in the background just for some fun. Okay, let's find some ships. Select a ship. Okay, who is on? Oh wow, holy smokes, we got a busy night. Let's go to Altamira. Why not? Who's in block 1? Okay, cool. Let's see what kind of teams we got going on. All right, who we got in the chat? Have you ever played any of the Monster Hunter games? I started playing Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate Edition on the 3DS, and I liked it. It's a crafting game, which I'm not really that familiar with. I mean, they're not terribly difficult to figure out, but it is one of those things where I just never really took the initiative to figure it out. Okay, now I'm not going to be able to join any of these teams, so maybe what we'll do is we'll switch ships. Let's go to Asilia. See who's on there. Okay, Blue Crab, Asilia, perfect. Organize team, join team. Hey, normal, we can do normal. Oh, that's got a full house. And what a lovely name. Okay. I do not recognize any of those people. All right, not a big deal. So why don't we transport over and see if is anybody in Vega? No, eh? There's 8 users, 3 teams. Okay. Who is in here? Okay, let's see if we can find anybody in this block. Maybe somebody join team. Nothing. Okay, is there a user floating around? It could be a GameCube user that we're not seeing. It probably is. So as some of you know, Dreamcast can play with Dreamcast, Dreamcast can play with PC, PC can play with PC, PC can play with GameCube, GameCube cannot play with Dreamcast. Okay, let's try and change. Is somebody in this block? No, eh? You know what? Let's just wait out here and we'll start our own team and see if anybody decides to join in. I highly doubt it, but actually, you know what? Cilia might be the better bet because there are some normal users there. So maybe we can convince one of them to join us later on. Transport, join team, nothing. Okay, no problem. Organize team, create a team. PSO version 2, yes please. UGB. And enter. Normal. Okay, let's go. All right, what do we got going on? Gonna start playing Blue Burst more. Yes. Did you make a new character? Yes, I did. Unfortunately, my old character was deleted. What ended up happening, as I mentioned in my previous video, was I was installing the DC HDMI mod, and I ended up screwing up. So I kind of butchered my motherboard. So I sent it off to Dan, and he ended up installing the ribbon cable for me. Now, why can't I talk to this person? There we go. Take item. Oh, I thought maybe I put my... I didn't deposit anything. Ooh, that's dangerous. And he ended up installing it on another motherboard for Dreamcast that I had that I could install into this one. What I forgot is that the serial was registered. I have multiple copies of PSO, and I installed the wrong version with the wrong serial, so it ended up flashing the wrong serial to the I guess, where does it store it? It doesn't store it in the RAM clearly, but wherever it does, in the BIOS maybe? Must be in the BIOS, because I had to flash the BIOS. And what ended up happening was I couldn't find my character. I was like, what's happening? When I realized, oh man, I installed the wrong disc. But by that time, I'd already hit new on PSO, so it already started a character. So unfortunately, I think I overwrote that character on this VMU. So it was really it was just stupidity on my part rather. I should have really thought that whole thing through, but I was just so eager to fire up my Dreamcast rather and play PSO with the HDMI mod. And yeah, so that's it for that character. I started up this one shortly after, and I'm just starting to figure it out, because previously I'd never used any characters that use tech, and I'm not 100% well, I kind of know how to use it, but I don't know how to optimize it yet. So I'm getting more familiar with using tech with this character. I think it'll add a little bit more... Oh shit. I think it'll add a little bit more fun to the game. Only because it allows me to do something different. Before I was just kind of sitting back sniping. Now that being said, I really haven't done much here. Whoa, okay, back up. And I am getting a little bit more comfortable with my tech, but I'm still very new to it all. Okay. Now, I'm not 100% sure if you use it like you would use a regular weapon, where if you kind of get the rhythm down, you can use multiple techs. Whoa. Okay. So it looks like these guys are more prone to fire attacks, which makes sense, I guess. Okay, get out of here. It does mean I'm going to need to stock up on monofluids. All right. Did I clear the room? Not quite yet. Okay, who am I waiting for? Oh shoot, this is not going to be good. Okay, monofluid. Okay, let's see what this guy does not like. Does not like fire. Alright. Are we gonna do it? Are we gonna do it? Are we gonna do it? Excellent. Oh, no, we're not quite there yet. So yeah, the real disappointing thing is that I can't get to those upper levels that were a lot of fun. Like I can't get to the ultimate levels at the moment. Those will all come in time. Kind of disappointed I can't find anybody to play with at the moment, but hopefully somebody will give up a game and join my team once they see that there's another normal level open. Whoa, okay. It'd be interesting to know if I can do multiple attacks as well using some of the tech. I haven't really read up on it. I should probably bring out my strategy guide and actually do a little bit of soft reading just to kind of familiarize myself with using this approach to attacks. Okay, at least... Oh, I thought I was going to get lucky and maybe get some fluid, but no luck. Okay. Well, I think... Okay, so it looks like 3 hits do it. Okay, so that's not the end of the world. 3 hits. Okay, sweet. Alright, did we clear this house? Did we clear it? Did we clear it? It looks like we did. Excellent! Okay, is there anywhere else to go? No, I just need to go into the other room. And I need to monomate. Actually, speaking of which, item pack. Mag, my poor little Mag is probably suffering. Give item. Okay, what do you think it would like? Alright, I need more. I need it to have heavy mind. So, what do you think? Moon atomizer. Dye fluids? That's not doing too bad. Okay, dye fluids seem to work. What about moon atomizer? Nope, don't want that. That's more balanced. Nope, definitely don't want that. Okay, so it looks like moon atomizer, or sorry, dye fluids are the most useful at the moment. Although I should probably try monofluid as well, just to see if those work a little bit better. So one thing I tried to do with this channel was I tried to set up Super Chat as well. Unfortunately, I think my Super Chat options have been limited at the moment because one of my videos got copyright claimed by somebody who I don't believe owned the copyrighted material, but chose to exercise their copyright, copyright anyways. So it was a live video that I had posted on my channel for ages. I didn't think anything of it. For Big Black. Performing, I can't remember, sometime in the 80s. This guy claims that he pro shot the video. Whether he has any evidence of that, I don't know. But apparently he had enough evidence for YouTube to decide to strike it. And when I tried to enable Super Chat, I noticed I couldn't. And I think possibly that has to do with what my channel status is when I have one copyright violation. So I tried to appeal it. As most of you know, the appeals process with YouTube is not great, but they denied it. They said that they didn't have enough evidence to say that it was my material. I wasn't arguing it was my material. I was just arguing that this person didn't own the copyrighted material. So YouTube basically said, you know, just wait out the strike and, you know, let it pass and get over it. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I gotta wait till the middle of November now to be back in perfect standing with YouTube. Right now I'm sitting with a 1 out of 3 strike, which is really disappointing because as I've said before, I finally got my channel back into you know, full functioning form. Monetization of the channel isn't necessarily all about collecting that AdSense revenue. It's also that you get lost in the algorithm. Your videos aren't promoted, your channel's not promoted. Generally, things like when you live stream, the message doesn't go out to everybody, and that's a big issue. So having the monetization and being a partner again is really helpful for streaming, because you get new viewers and the channel expands, and I don't know, it just makes it a little bit more interesting. I like to kind of have goals with things, and find if you have a channel that's not really doing anything, it's really hard to stay motivated. And perhaps that's why I kind of stayed off for the last year or a bit too. I just had other things that were a little bit more successful at the time, and I was concentrating more on them because I didn't really feel like focusing a lot of energy on YouTube was a valuable use of my time. And also just because of the other things that I was doing, I really had no time for anything, quite frankly. It's kind of funny. I ended up getting a Switch back in November because I told myself, with the amount of work that I'm doing right now, Switch is perfect. I can just use it on the road, in between jobs, all that kind of stuff. And it didn't really pan out that way. I did use my Switch quite a bit, but not as frequently as I thought I would. So basically for the last, I would say even before I kind of stopped streaming as regularly back last August, I was working 2 jobs, like basically a job and a half, not even just a part-time job. And a lot of it was overnights rolling into daytime, and then with the family stuff. So it was just a lot of work in general. And because of that, I really didn't have any time or a lot of energy to do anything. The money was great, except come tax time, of course. But it was busy. Like, I would work, Friday, like Monday to Friday, my day gig, and then I come home Friday and I would, do the family thing, and then grab a nap between 7 and 10 p.m. and then I'd be back at work at my night job from 11 till do I have any more dye fluid? I guess, but I don't really want to use that. My night job from 11 till 7 a.m. The funny thing is like, you think about that and you're like, oh man, like that must be hard. You must hated it. And I was like, not really. I actually really liked my night job. It was a fun job, at least for me. I could see how people wouldn't like doing what I was doing overnights, but I enjoyed it immensely. It's just unfortunate that doesn't really work for everything else that I try to do in the world. Family wasn't a big fan of it because I'd come home at 7 a.m. and then I would grab a quick nap to like 10 or 11, get up, do the family thing, and then do that for a little while, put everybody down for bed, and then maybe grab another nap between 7 and 10 again, and then be right back at it for 11 p.m. till 7 a.m. And sometimes I do that like 3 or 4 times a week in a row, and I'd roll right into my day job. Like come Sunday, I'd work overnights all weekend, and then come Sunday, I'd roll overnights into a day job, and then come home and do the family thing, and then grab a quick nap or whatever, and do that maybe Monday, Tuesday, and it really kind of added up. It was quite exhausting, but like I said, it was good for the household at the time and doing everything that I was doing. But it was hard on the body, hard on the mind. So I'm not doing that anymore. Not so much because of this whole situation that's happening right now, but I ended up having some other opportunities fall into my lap. Well, I shouldn't say fall into my lap. I took advantage of some opportunities when they presented themselves. And everything was going great. And then the world kind of did what the world did. And I'm kind of taking a break from that right now. I was talking to my office recently, and they said, well, maybe in October things will be a bit better, which quite frankly I have no problem with. I'm quite enjoying this time at home right now. It's kind of nice to just not have to worry about the whole working part of my life, but it was a bit of an adjustment going from 1.5 jobs, working 7 days a week effectively, not really having any free time, any time to myself or anything like that, and then going, oh sorry, just checking behind me, think my cat's in the house kind of whining out. And then going to nothing. It was a bit of a struggle, and now I think I'm going through the opposite struggle where if I do have to go back, I don't know how I'm going to adjust to not having all of that free time anymore. It's not even really free time. You know, as anybody that's got a family knows, you're always sort of, you know, if you're not concentrating on that, you're not doing it right. Oh shit, this thing. Okay, we need to back up here and oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. This is not good. Okay. Let's see if we can take this guy out. I do have some dye fluids. Oh my goodness, is it gonna go? Is it gonna go? Come on, fall, fall, fall. Okay, and dye fluid, perfect. Okay, let's just take this guy out and hopefully he's got some goodies for us. Alright, 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 alright. Excellent. 6 experience. Oh my goodness. I did get a level up, so that's kind of nice. Level 9. You know, after level 20, that's sort of when this game becomes a little bit more fun. Normal is a bit of a drag. There's not as much happening in it. There's, you know, it's definitely a get your feet wet into the game. But you know, after normal, when you start getting to hard and very hard and ultimate levels, ultimate in particular, I mean, anybody that's seen the ultimate levels, that's where the game gets really, really interesting. And it's also, it caught me by surprise. I was actually really impressed with how the game, you know, how advanced this game is and how technical this game is. Because once you get to the ultimate levels, everything just turns different. All the creatures are different. They're a lot more menacing. They've got a lot more going on. They're still you know, the same characters. They still sort of behave in the same way, but they look different. The levels are different. The levels are a lot more challenging, of course. Most of it's just more hit points and tougher enemies to beat. You know, the same thing, but they're just a little bit tougher. But they do offer some different sort of strategies to winning, to completing each level as well, which you know, diversifies that enough to keep you interested rather into the game. And I think if they didn't offer that game, this game wouldn't have as much of a, I shouldn't even say, well, maybe a cult following. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that don't know you can get your Dreamcast online, are probably sitting around, you know, playing this offline still, wishing they can get back on, not knowing how actually easy it is. Now, I really hope not. I really hope at this point everybody that has a Dreamcast is familiar with everything you can get for it, but you know, you never know. Okay, after this I'm gonna actually take a quick little break because I have to close some windows in my basement. I forgot to do that, and the problem is I have these raccoons and I think they're out. If you see me twisting my head, I think they're out taking care of my garbage cans. So I just want to close the window so it's not distracting. So I'll be back in 1 second, all right? You guys just watch the game. Okay, here we are, right back to the game. Okay, what's going on in the chat? Hey, greetings to Chile. Okay, so I'm just reading a comment there about the character I have and how I'll primarily be using guns, which is fine. It might be a good sort of transition because I've never used a tech-based character before. I wasn't quite sure if this is going to be a character that's going to require more melee-based guns or not, but you know, I'm fine with kind of making this slow transition into becoming a tech character. Maybe I'll start up another one. I don't know. I'm not completely dedicated to this guy. I don't know if I'll have time to kind of like play every character to its fullest extent, but you know, I might try to start up something that's completely tech based. If there's any suggestions out there, by all means. Like, I've always made it clear I enjoy this game. I put hundreds of hours into it, but I'm not the best player. There are people that have invested way more time in this game, just kind of figuring out the best ways to optimize their character, optimize their play strategy, everything. Like, there are some people that I've played with where I'm like, where do you find all of this information? Because on its surface, this game looks very, very simple, but once you get into the weeds, you realize that there's a lot more going on in it than just simply, like, you know, going to a dungeon, clearing it out, going back, cashing in your loot, and then wash, rinse, repeat. There's actually a lot more strategy to the fighting than you would think. But to understand that, you just have to kind of play it, and you have to kind of play around. You also have to get familiar with other players that might be able to give you a couple tips too. All right, let me see. Do I want to go to Forest 2 yet? Have I cleared out everything here? I feel like I have not. What have I been playing on the Switch? You name it. Holy smokes. I have gone on a deep dive for the Switch, but I will show you guys some of the things that I've actually picked up recently. So most of my, like, I'm kind of half and half with the Switch in terms of digital versus physical. And I gotta admit, like, digital is definitely what I prefer. But I don't like many guys like me that have grown up on cartridges and discs and things like that. I just don't like the whole lack of control you have when you're relying completely on your digital library. And that was very apparent when I ended up having my PSN account completely nuked. And that was my fault. I should have really spoofed my account or used a different account when I was accessing the PSN. I didn't think the whole thing through. I'd heard about that. I knew that there was different apps that you can install in order to make sure that that doesn't happen, but I didn't do it. And then I got that email saying, you know, thanks, no thanks. We've determined that there's pirated software on your PlayStation 3 and your account has been banned, your console has been banned. You have been banned effectively from the PSN. What that also meant was all of my very legal purchases, like I don't know how many hundreds of dollars I probably put into the PSN over the decade I guess I had that machine. But I probably had like 120 titles that I could download at any time from my account to the store. And those are all gone now. Now I did manage to download those all to my latest PS3. I've had so many PS3s over the last few years. They are not the most reliable console. They have a number of issues, especially just the disk drive in general. That's a real problem. But also things fail, like the hard drive failed on one of them. On another PS3 that I had, the GPU failed on it, of all things. And I tried to repaste it, but it would just not bounce back. So I think I've had 4 PS3s in my lifetime. which isn't a good track record for such a modern-ish console. But the good thing is they're so easy to source. Like I've never really paid more than 20. Like the first PS3 I got it when it was new. I got it. Well, I shouldn't say new. Like I think I got it about 3 years into its lifespan. I think I got my first PS3 in 2009, and I got that primarily because a friend of mine, like I was really interested in. I think I got a new TV. That's what I got. So I got a new plasma TV, and then I got a Blu-ray player, and a friend of mine said, why don't you just get a PS3? It plays Blu-rays. And I thought, oh man, you were so right. I should just get a PS3. So I got a PS3, and of course it played Blu-rays, it played PS3 games, it played, it was the slim model, and it also played my PS1 games as well. So I was more than happy with that, and I kept that for quite a number of years, and it was fine. And then I started jailbreaking them, and then, you know, that was fine. And then all of a sudden, you know, out of nowhere, I get that email saying your account has been banned, your console has been banned. You have been banned from the PSN. And I haven't really been on since. PS3 is a great machine for a number of things. Like I don't use it as a primary Blu-ray player anymore. I used to use it as a primary Blu-ray player. But now I have just a better, like what I ended up doing was I bought a really high-end 4K Sony Blu-ray player, and then I bought a mod chip to make it region-free. Now, UMD movies, not UMD, but 4K discs, from what I've heard, are natively region-free. Blu-rays are not, and DVDs are not. So you can really easily get these. There's a place called Rattlebite, which I suggest. There's a great video from Techmoan on Rattlebite, and it's a really easy mod. You only have to put in like 3 or 4 wires. I can't remember exactly how many you have to install. And you install this chip, you install their custom firmware, and then that's it. You're ready to go. It's super easy, and after you've installed the mod chip, you've installed the firmware, it'll play any region DVD, no problem. To switch the Blu-ray regions, it's pretty easy. You just power down your Blu-ray player, and then on startup, you hit one of the color buttons in order to get it to change its region. So red is like A, blue is region B, and I believe yellow is region C. And after you've done that, that's a wrap. That's all you need. So if you're a guy like me who likes to get physical media from around the world, a region-free player is a must. I used to have a Siki, which played, you didn't need to do any modifications. You could just change the region through the settings. It was pretty easy, but the quality of the Siki is not good. They were like a cheaper Blu-ray player that was region-free, and a lot of people suggested getting it, but it was just not up to par. So the reason I like Blu-ray and DVD to some extent is not only just the extras that you get that you're missing when you stream and when you download, and to some extent the video quality, because the video quality is always going to look better on disc, but it's mostly the audio tracks. The audio tracks can't be beat. Like, you can't get DTS master audio through streaming as of yet. And once you have like a half decent setup, it's really hard to go back to just whatever they're offering, like Dolby Digital or Dolby Surround. Most of it's Dolby Surround, which is pretty good. I'm trying to build a Dolby Atmos setup in my basement, but I don't think I have the height in my basement to make the height speakers very usable. And I don't want to have any speakers sort of laying around behind my couch. Right now, my rear speaker, so I have a 7.2 setup, so 2 subs, 2 10-inch subs. They're not matching. I should probably get a matching pair. I have a Klipsch, and I have a Polk. I have a RP500C center reference speaker, Klipsch. I use 2 Paradigm Titans as my left and right, and I use 2 JBL Control 1 Professionals as my surround left, my surround right, and then I have in-wall speakers in the ceiling as my rears. And the reason I do that is just it's like I don't want wires kind of coming out behind my couch. So what I did was I ended up putting the rears slightly angled towards the front in the ceiling. And I have Sonance speakers for those. And those, everything sounds great. It's all mismatched. I actually, if I could find a full set of Control Ones, I would definitely just stick with the Control Ones. I love the sound that the Control Ones have. JBL makes a fantastic product. Titans, like everybody in home theater and home audio sort of seems to think Paradigm is sort of the go-to, particularly the Canadian brand. I find them a little bit bass heavy, to be honest. I don't find them very balanced. I don't find the treble on them is very balanced. And I'm not a big fan of Paradigms. I've had a number of Paradigm speakers in the past, and they've never really done it for me. These Titans are good. They're fairly big. They have a nice 8-inch woofer on them. So you get a decent amount of sound, but I would trade them out any day. Actually, my favorite speakers, for whatever reason, Denon makes Mission speakers, and I love the sound of Mission. Now they're only two-way speakers. They're not three, so they've only got the highs and the woofers. But for whatever reason, like they managed to compensate for losing that mid-range speaker somehow. Like everything sounds so detailed and crisp, and all the bass sounds tight. They just sound fantastic. They're easily my favorite bookshelf speakers, any of the Mission speakers. So I would gladly trade those in at some point, and I don't know, just sort of complete the setup I have. But that was a big tangent on a question about Switch. So what have I actually been playing? Right now, I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. So I pre-ordered the limited run physical cart because I've always loved that game. I have the PC. I have the original PC versions of that game, and it's a fantastic racing game. So when I heard it was coming to the Switch, it's like, oh wow, this is great. And the price is, it's extremely low. It's a really good pick up and play game. I could see people who enjoy games like Gran Turismo or even like Gear Club. I do have Gear Club for 1 and 2 for the Switch. And I could see the appeal of those games, but I've never really been a big fan of racing simulation. I like racing games, but racing sims are rather boring for me anyways. So I don't like those games where you're worrying about augmenting every little detail in your car to optimize its performance. I could see how that would be appealing to some people, but it's never really appealed to me. So games like like Episode 1 Racer, it is what it is. It's pod racing. It's really easy to sort of figure out. There are some techniques to it that if you are able to figure them out and you're able to incorporate them into your gameplay, make the game much more satisfying to play. But you can play it just by holding down your right trigger and just kind of hoping for the best at the end of a race. That's also very, very doable. So I've been playing a lot of that. I could show you actually a couple of recent pickups that I've had for the Switch. So I ended up, here's another game I'm loving. So I ended up actually pre-ordering the physical cart for the Wonderful 101. So it's got this cool little, let me see if I can get a good angle on it. It's got this cool little 3D case to it, and that's a fun game. I never played it when it came out for the Wii U, but it's a lot of fun on the Switch. I haven't played it that much. I should probably put more time in it. But I completed this as soon as I got it, and that's Streets of Rage 4. So let me see if I can put that up there. This is not the limited run edition. This is who put this out again? This was put out by which company? Merge. And I like those sort of simpler games. They appeal to me more. They're just things I don't have to worry about investing hundreds of hours into in order to fully appreciate the game, to fully get what I need out of the game. At the same time, if I wanted to, I could see putting in that kind of time. So I beat it on normal. I haven't beat it on hard yet, which I know there has to be another ending, but I'm like, whatever. I played through it. There's probably some more bosses that if I play on hard. Definitely more characters I can unlock and things like that. But I played through it on the regular level. I'm about halfway through on hard right now. It's a lot of fun. I haven't played with any other users yet. Just sort of played it by myself in handheld mode. And yeah, I love Streets of Rage 4. So Streets of Rage 4 and Pod Racer are primarily what I'm playing right now. All right, let's get rid of some of our stuff. So what don't we need? Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's figure out what we have and what we can actually use. So item pack, Meg. Oh, my poor Meg. He is hurting. Okay, so we don't want that. We want to give... Don't want to give monofluid. Don't want monomate. Do we want... So we gave dye fluid. No, okay, so we want to stick with dye fluid. Give item... Dye fluid. Excellent, okay. So we're going to stick with that. So, items... Equip. Okay, so what do we got? So we got a panic rifle. That is actually not too bad. And not really worried about that right now. So what do we got in terms of frames? This has 2 slots. Nothing. I'm going to stick with what I have right now. Even though it appears as though there's slight advantage with some of the other armor, but okay, so the evade on that's actually pretty decent. Okay, so okay, so maybe giving up for that. You know what? I think I'm good with these right now. So let's just... Oh! Let's just unload what we have. Do we have any special items that we need to get? I don't think we have any special items to sell. Okay, so let's get rid of everything we have here. Sell, 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 keep, sell, 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 sell. Oh, wait, we don't want to sell the antidotes. We might actually need those. We'll keep the escape doll, of course. Get rid of that guy. Get rid of that guy. And I think we're pretty good. So let's buy... Let's completely stock up on those guys. And do we have anything else? No, we don't need anything else there. Okay, cool. Alright, I'm pretty sure that I have some fluids in the bank as well, but oh well. Let's just keep moseying on and see what we can do. So yeah, the Switch, that's pretty much what I'm playing right now. I'm playing primarily just solo mode. I'm not really playing with anybody else at the moment. Speaking of which, we've got to find out where other players are. I'm going to keep up with this level a little bit more, and then I'm probably going to jump to another ship and see where other people are playing. Although this is kind of fun too. Alright, did I open this door? Yes, I did. So now I just need to go through here, but that is locked. Alright, so don't want to backtrack too much. Let's go through here and see what we forgot to open. Okay, so that's open there. Brings us back in a big circle. Let's see what we missed here. Just a saver. And did we clear this out? No, we did not. Now, one game for the Switch that I thought I would get into that I just couldn't is Ring Fit Adventure. I kind of enjoy those like full rhythm games, especially the ones like, you know, let's get real here. We're in COVID or whatever we're in, and it's hard to kind of get out and move. At least it was at one point. And I thought, okay, the Ring Fit Adventure, that's going to be my thing. And it's not the actual exercise. The exercise, you know, it actually doesn't, you know, if you're a person that doesn't move around that much, I could see how it could be very, you know, like a half decent sort of full body workout. But it's just not a very good game. It's really repetitive. It's kind of boring. It's kind of stupid, actually. So I'm really disappointed in Ring Fit Adventure. I was expecting more. Some of the reviews I read said it was, you know, a little bit more. You know, the RPG element was definitely something that they focused on a lot. They wanted to make it an actual game instead of just having it be sort of you know, Wii Fit board disguised as a game. But I got to be honest, it is simply a rhythm exercise simulator, or whatever you want to call it. The actual story mode in it is pretty simple, I guess. And I think that's part of its charm. It's supposed to be like a very simple game, but I don't really have that much time to invest in things like that are just, I know are really gonna go nowhere. Or it would be interesting to see what the actual game completes as, like what is the actual story if you were to complete it. But I don't have enough free time to be investing into a game where I'm not that interested. You know, these things got to hook me in pretty deep for me to invest any more than, like, let's say 2 or 3 nights in. And Ring Fit Adventure did not do that. I do like the response to it. I like the concept of it. It's very, very interesting. But the actual gameplay in and of itself, it's just way too, I don't know. It's a little too silly for me. And I'm a guy who grew up on the Power Pad with the Nintendo. Which most of us figured out how to manipulate fairly early on. Either put a chair in front of you and you just kind of tap your toes, or you go on your hands and knees and you just pound with your fists, doing kind of like hammer fist punches. I actually have, like, I think 2 or 3 Power Pads in my garage. I haven't broken them out, and geez, I couldn't tell you. Way before I moved to Toronto, I'll tell you that much. Okay, let's see if we have anything here. And this is also a good time for me to see what's going on in the chat. Have I played Final Phantasy Star Online 2? No, and I know that it's a free download, and I was kind of thinking about that. Like, that would be a really fun game to play. I think it all comes down to whether, like, I enjoy some PC games, but I find I just don't have time to really focus on a PC game anymore. They become so all-encompassing. Okay, where am I supposed to go? And I enjoy them. I enjoy them quite a bit. I just feel like, I don't know, something about playing on a keyboard. It works for some games, like first-person shooters, without a doubt. It's you know, I can play first-person shooters on the PC all day long. You know, I'm a guy who grew up on Wolfenstein and Doom and Duke Nukem 3D. I actually have Duke Nukem 3D on my Switch, but I haven't played played it that much, simply because like I missed the keyboard controls, to be honest. Something about the keyboard controls just felt a little bit more natural to play with that game. Ah, here we are. I missed this spot. But yeah, I have not got around to PSO2, and it looks like a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. And obviously the player base is going to be a lot bigger. But yeah, it's just one of those things I have not gotten around to yet. Ah, okay, get out of here. Okay. Let's see if we can find a corner and snipe these guys. What am I doing? Okay. Turn around. Yeah, funnily enough, like, I haven't really been playing a lot in front of my television, but I have been catching up on a lot of movies lately. And that's always kind of been my thing. Like, I've always enjoyed, and I think probably part of it is also the fact that I know that it's a one and done sort of deal, despite the fact that I own a silly amount of Blu-rays and DVDs. But I know that after an hour and a half to possibly 3 hours, it's a done, completed experience. What if I want to revisit it? That's up to me, but the experience is complete. Whereas with games, you can kind of go on forever, and I need something that has definitive end times. Otherwise, I'm either going to spend all my time doing it, which I did with what I feel is a few games. Like, I think when, like, what would be a game that I can put out? I've talked about it before. Diablo 3, I felt like I put a lot of time into that, and I actually have that for the Switch, and it's a great port. And I probably put quite a few hours into it. Definitely not as much as I did when it originally came out. Not on PC. Now, I have the PC version as well, and I've put quite a bit of time into it. But I think the most time I ever put into it was when it was on the PS3. And the reason mostly for that was I had a couple of friends that lived out of town, and it was really nice to catch up with them on the voice chat. So I was really utilizing the multiplayer, but it was all multiplayer with people I knew personally. It wasn't just, you know, internet friends or friends that I added, you know, that I just sort of met online playing. These were people that I really knew and had a big history with in real life, but you know, for whatever reason, we all kind of took our separate paths, and they didn't live where I lived anymore, and I didn't get to see them as often. So it was really great to sort of catch up with them on the PS3. But, you know, as they sort of faded away and people got into other consoles and things like that, everybody sort of graduated on, and I didn't. I was still enjoying it, and the version of Diablo 3 for PS3 is completely gimped. It's definitely not the way to play. I don't know why anybody would choose to play it when there's so many better versions. The Switch version in particular. PC will always be, if you want the most latest updates where you don't have to worry about it, you know, your system kind of going, not being able to support the gameplay, that PC is definitely the way to play that game. But I find the Switch port is fine. Same thing with the Doom Switch port. You know, I played a lot of Doom 2016 on the 16 rather on the Switch. That was a fun game. The reviews did not disappoint. Oh, cool! Got somebody joining. But there are some levels in that I just was like, oh man, this is a chore. It took me a lot of time to get through a couple of levels. Okay, let me just take a quick break here. I've just got to deal with something going on in the household. And I shall return. Let me just find a little exit that I can go to take a break. And, oh, looks like my friend already left. All right, so I will be back momentarily. You guys just enjoy. Okay, false alarm-ish. Let's get back here. Looks like our friend left. Oh. That's disappointing. Oh well. Could have been any reason. They could have jumped into another game, or who knows? Maybe they'll be back. Sometimes when you're on Dreamcast 2, it does drop carrier, unfortunately. Especially if you have one of the older Dreamcast setups. The first version of Dreamcast that I used to have, you know, when I created those tutorials all those years ago, you know, they relied on batteries, which are completely unreliable. Yeah, and then graduated from batteries into a dedicated AC adapter, which was extremely reliable, but not aesthetically pleasing. And then I kind of figured out how to, well, I didn't kind of, I did figure out how to power it via USB directly off of the Raspberry Pi. And then a couple other people did as well. And then PC Wizard just, you know, went full on with it and figured out how to navigate the power from the modem to the pin on the USB to power the actual line voltage inducer. So I knew that was coming. Like I was just on the cusp of figuring it out myself, and then as soon as he did it, I kind of took a look. I ended up buying his product. It's a great product. If you guys ever get a Dream Pi, I suggest going through PC Wizard. He definitely has a, you know, OG of this thing. If you've never watched his streams or know what he does for the Dreamcast community, you know, he's definitely got a superior product when it comes to. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, it's a blasted can again. The modem, but well, no buts actually. Yeah, just beat me to it. Had more time, had more dedication, and figured it out way before I did. Okay. Bang. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Get out of there. Okay. This guy. I should probably. If I was smart, I would probably recharge some of my tech, but let me just take these guys out first. Bang. Okay. Oh, can't pick that up. I guess I got a full house. Oh, that's right, because I haven't used any mono. Okay, you know what? Let's just get out of here real quick and let's recharge. Okay, and mono fluid, check. And you know what? Let's feed our mag as well. Poor mag. Always gets neglected. Seems to enjoy dye fluid. Give dye fluid. Give. What do you think? Thinking like a mood atomizer? Nope. Oh. Sure, why not? Okay, run away. Retrospector. Ooh, level 100. Holy smokes. Okay. Hey, hey. Let's see if we can get this person to help us out. Okay, as soon as we tag these guys and get them out of the picture, I'll drop a pipe. Let me just get over here so that way I'm not dropping them into the middle of this chaos, although they are level 100, so I don't think I'm going to be putting them in too much of harm's way. Okay, cool. this is good because I was actually thinking, like, how am I going to complete the final boss here? Like, I'm going to totally get smoked by this dragon, but this might be good. If we can get a little bit of help, we might be able to get through. I just dropped a pipe if interested. Alright, let's see if our friend is going to be able to join us. Bang, bang, bang. Ah, here we go. All the goodies. Level normal. Under level 10 goodies. Okay, and is this where... Okay, let's find our friend here. Right behind you. Cool. Okay, what else is going on in the chat? Pod Racer on Dreamcast is fantastic. I have that as well, actually. And I've never played the N64 version. Quite honestly, I've never been an N64 fan. That's always been one console I just, I don't know. When it first came out, watching your stream. Oh, cool. When the N64 first boxed a lot of bids, hey, thank you. I am back. I can't, you know, I'm going to tell you guys right now, as fun as it is to kind of be back and doing this whole like chatting with folks on YouTube thing, I cannot guarantee any sense of regularity with how this is going to look. And the reason I say that is just because, like, you know, at any time, my evenings can be completely disrupted by whatever's going on in the house. So I will do my best to kind of put something out there every once in a while, and hopefully at a half decent time. But unfortunately, I cannot say, like, okay, from this point forward I'm going to be here every Wednesday or whatever, but I will do my best. Oh, got some more critters that came out. Okay. But yeah, Dreamcast, or I did play it when it first came out on the 64. I've had probably like at least 6 or 7 64s. And every time I get a Nintendo 64, it's like, okay, this is going to be the one. This is going to be the one that I keep. And I always sell it because I'm like, I just don't enjoy this console. Quite frankly, all the good games on the 64, they've been mostly ported to other systems at this point. So I don't feel like I'm missing out. And also, like, I have a modded Wii U. And I had a modded Wii before that. The Nintendo 64 emulator on the Wii U is probably the most stable emulator I've ever experienced for the 64. It runs incredibly smooth. I don't notice any kind of frame drops or anything like that. I haven't noticed any games that don't play. I haven't noticed any games that there's any audio issues or anything like that. It just works. So if there's any way you're going to emulate N64 games, definitely just do it on a Wii or Wii U. Also, you get the advantage of using a better controller, because I couldn't stand the N64 controller. It was, even when it first came out and I was like much younger. I was still probably a teenager, I guess, when it came out. But it was just a bad design. Everything about it just did not seem ergonomically, I don't know, just nothing about it seemed fun to use. I hated that controller. So a couple of times I've ran into really good N64 lots. One in particular, before they went out of business here in Canada, was the Goodwill. I went to the Goodwill and they had a garbage bag and it was filled with, what was in it again? Man, this is awesome. Thank you so much for helping me out. I appreciate that so much. There was N64 with a what's it called there, with the expansion card in it. It had Majora's Mask, it had GoldenEye, it had what else did it have in it? It had Perfect Dark, it had Mario Kart, and it had, what else? I can't even remember. But anyways, like 4 or 5 controllers. It was fully loaded. It was good to go. And I sold it for, you know, I bought it, that whole bag, the whole lot. And this wasn't that long ago. This is probably like 5 years ago. So N64, retro gaming, and everything like that was still pretty hot. And I think I got it for $30 at a Goodwill. It was a fantastic score, and I thought, okay, this is going to be the one, and I just got rid of it. But I did play Racer back in the day on a 64, and was not terribly impressed. When I got it on Dreamcast, and when I played it on PC in particular, I was like, wow, this game is amazing. And I've been a fan of it ever since. The Dreamcast version is great. PC version, you know, it's PC. It's always going to be superior. So... Okay, this is awesome. Okay, thank you so much, my friend, for helping out. All right, let's unload some of our crapola here. And now I thought I tagged him a couple of times. Did I not get any XP for that? That's too bad. All right, what do we got here? Let's get rid of some of this garbage. Probably crap, probably crap, probably crap, probably crap. Probably crap, probably crap, probably crap, probably crap, probably crap, probably crap, probably crap. Nope. 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 Cancel. Nope. What am I doing? I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Okay, we want all that, we want all that, we want all that. Good to go. Okay, cool. All right, and let's get over here and... Okay, thanks so much. Man, I got a jet, unfortunately. It's 12 a.m. here in Toronto. Yeah, guys, I got a bolt. It is pretty late here in Toronto, and I've got a nice early morning. But hey, we got a couple of, hour and a half PSO? It's pretty decent, gotta admit. Definitely receive this person's guild card. Oh, did I cancel out? No. Okay, chat, guild card, my card, send. Yes, perfect. Bang, bang, bang. Okay, let's get out of here. I'll be back on probably Saturday. Yeah, man, I apologize. I just can't stay up too late. All right, let's get back to the lobby. See what's happening there, and we'll save our game and we'll call it a night. All right, let's get out of here. Organize team. Whoops. What am I doing? Quit game. Yes. You want to quit? Yes. There we go. All right, guys. So that is PSO for tonight. That was a lot of fun. We didn't get too far. But you know what? It was kind of nice just to kind of get out there and just play a little PSO and have a quick little rush, right? Before I go, though, I thought I would just show you a couple more things that I had in this pile. So some people asked what I was playing. You know, Streets of Rage. Like I said, some of the new carts I picked up. What I've been watching recently, actually. If you haven't seen Color Out of Space yet, I highly suggest watching it. I'm a big Richard Stanley fan. I watched Hardware as a kid so many times, Dust Devil so many times. there's a documentary on Amazon called Island of the Lost Souls, which is about the production of The Island of Dr. Moreau, which Richard Stanley originally was set to direct, and he was pulled from the project. And he is just, he is an original person through and through. So anything he puts out, I totally support it. Color Out of Space has a couple of moments in it. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but there's a couple of moments in it where even I was a little bit disturbed, to say the least. Found a copy of this out in the wild. I've wanted a copy for a long time. The WNUF Halloween Special. I won't say any more than that. If you like watching something that's original and unique, I suggest searching this out. You can download it however you choose to download it. You don't necessarily have to buy a physical copy. This just came out Tuesday. I was so happy that Show Factory finally decided to get the rights to it, and it's the Blu-ray version of Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. Fantastic little anthology of shorts. In particular, I think everybody likes the last one the best. Understandably so. It's fantastic. And another find, Johnny Got His Gun. Now, I picked this up. I was really, I was pretty excited when I found it. It goes for a little bit nowadays. It's not a cheap DVD at all, but this movie I came upon way back in the day when I was a kid. I was a big fan of Metallica. They're still good now. I don't listen to them as much anyways. But as a kid, when I was a teenager back in like the mid-90s, metal was kind of falling out of phase. But if you're a person that liked to play guitar, you play a couple of power chords and stuff like that for what was popular at the time, but metal could not be beat. So I was with a couple of bands. We ended up playing One by Metallica as a song. But before that, I'd like watched the music video, and it had this cutting back to the scenes of this movie of this guy, and he's in a bed, and he's had all of his limbs amputated, and he can't see, and he can't hear, and he can't talk, and he's in a horrible war accident, and found out that it's based, all the footage is taken from this movie. It's an extremely somber movie. It's very depressing. It's not for everybody, but it is a fantastic movie. I have not watched it since I've found it again, but this is an old Shout Factory DVD, which is, pretty cool. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for stopping in and watching PSO and letting me kind of jabber on for a little bit. That was a lot of fun. I will do my best to be back on Saturday. I know that's generally when a lot of people tend to play, and hopefully we'll see everybody again soon. So in the meantime, everybody take care, stay safe, and I will see you later. Bye.